The defense rests on day 13 of the Muzzammil Hassan murder trial. Good evening, everyone. The prosecution and the defense each have one last shot to tell the jury why their side should prevail. This high-profile case has put domestic violence in the spotlight once again. News 4's Michelle McClintock wraps up week 3 of the trial. Michelle?
That's right, Don. After 13 days, this is all wrapping up on Monday. Today, Muzzammil Hassan's final witness took the stand, and it's hard to imagine that his testimony will help the case. As the trial of Muzzammil Hassan is now wrapping up, we know what Hassan will address in his closing arguments, that he was the battered spouse, something he's been trying to convince jurors of for 13 days now. Dr. David Miro, a clinical psychologist, was the last witness to take the stand for the defense. Clearly uncomfortable about discussing Aasiya, Dr. David Miro reads from his notes following a meeting with Aasiya 9 days before her death. His note reads that Aasiya has been thinking a lot about her 8-year marriage. She was most tearful today of retribution. She should be separated. She contacted Haven House. Now she says she wants to visit him less often, but if she didn't, her husband would make a big fuss. Several times, Mrs. Hassan feels guilty for not standing up for things out of her own fear. Tamina Riemann was a friend of Aasiya Zubair's.
I feel all my blood gushing to my head. Just that, I'm just going to, everything is just going to blow up. That's what I feel.
Because you believe that he's lying?
Definitely, most definitely.
Tamina hasn't paid close attention to the trial because it's too painful for her. She says she knew Muzzammil was abusive and that Aasiya kept it to herself.
I mean, I could guess the things between lines, but if the person is not talking, you don't want to pry because it's very private. He is a very arrogant person. She was a very polite person. And if she was what he says he was, then my common sense question tells me then, why didn't you ask for divorce?
So after 2 years, Muzzammil Hassan will finally learn his fate for the beheading of his wife. Closing arguments will begin around 9:30 Monday morning, and the case should be in the hands of the jury by around lunchtime. Reporting live in the newsroom, Michelle McClintock for the 10 o'clock news.